welcome to episode 576, Trombones of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering or play trombone.
Absolutely. Do you know any trombone players in your
Wow.
life?
Only Commander Riker on the USS Enterprise.
Who you do know personally.
Who I do personally know.
We should add. I happen to know of 2 trombone players off the top of my head,
Wow.
which is more than I thought of when I asked that question and then thought about it and realized it was 2.
What I want to say to the trombone players that I know is that I'm sorry that I'm forgetting that you play trombone because I do know trombone players.
They're out there. They're out there.
Have you thought about how many trombone players you might know? The answer may surprise you.
I'm one of your hosts this week, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Meghan.
And every week, honestly. Not only are we going to play the trombone for you on this episode,
Don't make a promise. I was going to say, don't make a promise you cannot keep.
as we talk about Murders at Karlov Manor, which is releasing this week. The pre-release was last weekend, coming out on Arena this week as well, which is very exciting. And I went and played a pre-release, which was a true delight, and I'm going to tell you all about it.
Awesome.
And continue to flail these packs.
I cannot wait to hear about it. I did not go to a pre-release because Maria has already heard this. I have literally been so stressed that I keep having
This is disturbing, everyone.
Not a dream or a nightmare that my hair is falling out, but while I am awake, the sensation that my hair is falling out from stress.
Just a sensation.
Including my eyebrows.
Oh, God.
It feels, and I can't explain how this feels, but it's just kind of like,
But you're
imagine
not-
that you suddenly were just driving and you're like thinking about the stuff you have to do, and then you feel like your eyebrows are falling out.
But they're not.
But they're not. To be clear, they're not. But it feels like they are. I don't know what else to tell you. That's what it feels like. So
Oh
I'm
my
very
God.
excited to hear about the pre-release
Yes.
because I'm very sad that I did not get to go to one.
What a fun time it was. Fun times were had by all. I'll explain everything and show you my deck and talk about what I thought about the cards. And yeah, any tips and tricks that I encountered.
Ooh, yeah.
And sneaky things that happened. I mean, it's a very cool set, everybody. I will say that. I think they knocked it out of the park. Early days, but that's my take. And we've got play boosters.
Yes.
Speaking of these boosters.
Yeah, we'll talk to you about what the new play booster is like. We'll crack one and do a little flavor text theater.
Yeah. Changes. The more things change, the more they change in Magic. I think the saying goes.
But also, the more they stay the same.
Yeah, sure. Well, hopefully, as far as draft is concerned, with play boosters, I have not yet drafted the set, but it's going to change things, based, on the fact that we have one less common in these packs.
Yeah.
Now, and
Interesting.
we've got cards from the list in there now too, which was wild. Opening that in my sealed pool, I was like, "What? Croson Tusker? Who are you?" So that was kind of interesting.
Are you?
But before we dive into the murdery, blood-soaked waters of Ravnica, let's dive into the decidedly less blood-soaked waters of Patreon.
Although not entirely unblood-soaked, as you may have noticed in the way
Less.
Maria phrased it.
Less blood-soaked.
Less blood-soaked. Thank you so much to everyone who is a patron of this podcast, whether you give dollars or blood. Well, I want to be clear, no one is giving blood to our podcast, and we are not asking for it.
You're not asking for it. I might be a vampire for all you know.
Uh-oh. It truly does mean the world to us that you support the work that we are doing here, that you keep the show available for everyone
Yes.
who wants to listen to it, whether they're able to contribute right now. And thank you especially to our newest patron, Joshua. Joshua, you got the closest anyone has ever gotten to becoming a patron during the show.
You were so close, Joshua.
You were so close. So if you want to become a patron while we're recording and get, I think we said that you will get a shirt that says something like
I'm a witch.
yes, that's right. I'm a witch.
I don't, and
but not,
I don't
but
remember.
not a spooky witch. We'll say it's something like that.
Witch themed shirt.
Yeah, it's a witch themed shirt. Anyways, you can talk to Joshua about when they donate.
Yeah, because you almost hit it, Josh.
Because you almost got there. Joshua, gosh, you really, you really did a kind thing for us, and it really means a lot. I nailed that one.
That was a very good pun.
Very
good pun. Josh, thank you so much. You can become like Josh and become a patron over at patreon.com/GLHF magic. I call it the January dump for content creators because we just had the holidays, which is a great time for content creators. And then January comes and dumps all of its sadness onto us, even though it's February.
Maria also only poops once a year.
I poop once a year and it comes in January. I save it up. And boy,
that would be so unhealthy. I just want to be clear if that's happening to you, see a doctor.
And also impossible.
See a doctor. I don't know. See a doctor.
Help us survive the January, February dump and become a patron because it's the slowest time of year for content creators.
It really is.
So please help us out. Patreon.com/GLHF magic, early access to episodes. You get to get into our Discord. You get there's so many things like longer episodes. You get to influence our Commander episodes. All of that stuff. You can find out what you get over at patreon.com/GLHF magic. Speaking of Commander, I hope you all have seen our new Commander episode that's on our channel because it's
delightful.
It is a great one.
And we just recorded another one.
We did.
Little teaser for you, and it was excellent.
It was so good. Everybody, I'm so excited for you to see. It's going to come out at the end of February.
Yes, we made each other gift surprise decks.
Yes.
And surprises were surprised.
For Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to see what gift deck Megan got me and what gift deck I got Megan and Judge Rob and Judge Eric because it's...
It's great.
Surprise and delight was had by all.
Yes.
This past episode, though, there is a counter of how many times Megan says I'm sorry, and watch it for that alone. I must implore you. It's on our youtube.com/good luck high five if you want to see that.
I was sorry, but also I still did it.
You still did it. Yeah.
So
huge thanks to Card Kingdom as well for continuing to sponsor our lovely little podcast here. cardkingdom.com/GLHF is the link to go to for anything that you need for your magical life.
And soon they're going to have an updated website.
I know. I'm excited to see it.
You can see their little blog post about what goes into updating a website and get a little sneak peeky.
It's a lot.
Yes,
alert.
Exactly. I am sure. I can't even imagine actually the scope of designing a website that sells this many cards.
I mean, it seems like oof, I would have stress dreams. My hair would fall out.
Your hair, you would
my
have
eyebrows.
Waking dreams that your eyebrows are falling out of your face.
If I had to design a website.
Let me tell you.
Of this many cards. Cardkingdom.com. Your eyebrows won't fall out if you visit this website.
Cardkingdom.com.
Strange promise.
Your eyebrows won't fall out.
You can buy Murders at Karlov Manor there. Get a box. It's going on sale this Friday, everybody. Available for pre-order before that. If you've got some cards at the pre-release, by the way, that you're like, hey, I opened these cards, but I don't really need them for any decks that I'm building. You can sell them back to Card Kingdom and then get a trade-in bonus, which I think is very cool. So check them out. cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Keep those eyebrows on your face. It's time for the randomizer, where we head to scryfall.com, hit the random card button, and try and guess what the card does based on the art alone.
All right.
Megan, I found a card for you here.
Ooh, I'm very excited. Let's see it.
I mean, what's the word I want to use? It is iconic. I mean, you're going to understand it instantly.
I'm going to understand it instantly. It's from the guys. It's from those lads.
I might have been mistaken.
It's what's his name?
I feel like
Transformers.
I shouldn't help you.
It's from Transformers.
It's a Transformer.
The guys.
It's the guys.
Yes. So this is the red Transformer.
Called the Red Boy.
The Red Boy. Shooting a light cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, this light cannon is pretty sick. And there's a lot of other red lads behind him.
Yes.
Who are also marching behind him with his light cannon. Ooh, this is interesting to me because I am not 100% whether this is like a creature or if this is a non-creature spell, because there's something about all of them in the background looking very similar to this one that makes me feel a little bit like it's not about. But okay, I'm gonna say that this is this is Red Transformer Lad.
Red Transformer Lad.
Red Transformer
Great
Lad.
name.
Yes.
What does he do?
Wow, good question. He is Right? It must be an existing card, but that's okay. I'm going to say he's 3 in a red for a, it's like a Flame Tongue Kavu kind of effect, right? It's like a 4/2 that when it ETBs deals 2 damage to something.
Great guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell you some bad news.
What?
Number 1, this is not a transformer.
What?
That's the main bad news. But I mean, it really does look like one.
Uh-oh.
But if it's not a transformer, then what do you think it's from?
It must be from Brothers War.
Yeah, so no, that's also not
Wow.
right. But I get where you're coming from.
What is it from?
It's from the Warhammer
Oh,
Commander decks.
the other one.
The other Transformers.
Yes.
This is Redemptor Dreadnought.
Okay.
From the 40k decks. This is I don't know how to say this Warhammer word. My husband's going to kill me. Astartes Dreadnought. That's the creature type.
Okay.
It's a 4/4 Fallen Warrior. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard with Trample. And it also has Plasma Incinerator. Whenever Redemptor Dreadnought attacks, if a card is exiled with it, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the power of the exiled card.
Oh, nice. I knew that light gun was important.
Yeah, you nailed that.
The light gun is a very well done by this artist. Who's the art by?
This art is by Philip Helliwell.
Yes, very good job emphasizing that the light gun is important in this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, it looks like a transformer.
Wow, not a transformer. I, for one, am shocked.
All right, what do you got for me?
Here you go, Maria.
Okay, I like this guy.
Oh yeah, I felt like you would.
What is going on? There is a man crouched in the forest.
Yeah.
Great hat. Number 1. It goes over. He's also wearing a blindfold. It's not part of the hat. And it's a weird looking blindfold because it looks like he can still see through it, but it looks like he can see truths that are hidden to normal human eyes.
Yeah, that's all accurate, honestly. Looking at this art,
He's sitting on top of what looks to be an old piece of machinery that has rusted and gone out of use, or maybe it's a tree. I don't know if it's organic or man-made. I can't tell. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely a druid of some kind. So I'm going to call this one Truth Seer Druid.
Oh.
Because he's wearing that special mask. And this is a green creature. He is a 2/3 for 4 mana. And he can scry when you play another green card.
Wow, I like that card.
That's actually, that might be
a cool card.
Good card.
This is Dreamscape Artist.
Okay.
1 in a blue for a 1/1 creature human spell shaper.
Okay.
2 in a blue, tap, discard a card, sacrifice a land, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them into play, then shuffle your library.
Wow, what a basic.
What a basic.
That creature's basic.
Yes.
But I gotta say, great job on the art of having a basic card, but that's cool art.
It's very cool art. Also, I feel like he's perched on a skull.
Is that a skull?
Like, it looks like a little bird skull. Like, I think he might be tiny.
Oh.
Wait, no, he's a human.
Well,
maybe it's a giant.
A giant bird.
It looks a little bit like a skull to me. That's all.
shocked that it is a blue card.
Yeah.
Must say. But great job on that art. Thumbs up.
Yeah. This is also, so the original printing was Planar Chaos, and this is when they would still just put puns as the flavor text. He's mastered the art of sleight of land.
Okay.
Get out of here. Leave the building.
Normally I'd let that slide, but that is egregious.
No. That is egregious.
Art by Jim Murray.
Jim Murray.
Props to Jim Murray on that weird little dude.
Looking good.
Looking good. Okay, friends, let's talk about the murders at Karlov Manor pre-release. I have my deck here.
Oh, Maria,
Not
I am
this.
obsessed with these little punch-out tokens.
Yeah, they gave us some great punch-outs for this set. As you can see, we've got like suspected and case solved that you can put on the cases.
Oh, I love the suspected and case solved. They also, because they had room, I suppose, they have stuff like unlocked.
Yeah.
They have little +1/+1. They have stun, which is very nice. Poison, -1/-1, flying. So they also use this space to make some other little punch outs, which I really am. These are so cute. I like them.
Check out that force I opened.
Oh my goodness.
Looking pretty good.
Oh, gorgeous.
And also I noticed this. Oh, here's another cute little case solve thing that came in the kit. Some of the stores got these super cool clue tokens. Check that out.
Wow. It even has their store on it.
Yeah, the store name's on it. They're made of wood. I think these went out to WPN premium stores, I can imagine. And they gave one out to everybody who played, and I just
These are so cute.
I'm obsessed with these.
I'm obsessed with this
They're
thing.
really,
It's
really good. So, the pre-release I went to was at Tower Games. It was a smaller pre-release as it was Sunday, and there's only a few of us there, but it was a great time nonetheless. Really casual, fun hangout vibes at this pre-release, and I had a pretty good deck, I think. I went 2-1 with this deck, and I'm going to tell you who I lost to, which is a story that is the deck. The deck they made was a true work of art, everyone.
I'm very excited.
Which made my deck feel so basic, but here we are. So I'd made a black-white deck. Orzhov. Now we can talk about the Orzhov Syndicate because that's the real deal here. I had plenty of 2-drops this time. As you remember, last pre-release,
yes,
I got run over real good. That was Ravnica remastered one. And I opened our preview card.
Wow, great.
Outrageous Robbery. Draw a million cards. Do whatever you want with it. Didn't cast it. Anyway, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-drops because I was just so scared about not having enough.
Yeah.
There's 2 copies of Long Goodbye, which were in my deck.
That card is also real
Card's
nice.
really good. That's the one in a black instant. This spell can't be countered. Includes by ward ability. PS. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less, which is important, of course, for all those face down disguised creatures that were running around on the battlefield. Keep in mind, those creatures are not morphs, which I made the mistake of, I think, on more than one occasion. They have ward 2, everybody.
Yes, they really do.
That is important with Long Goodbye. I'm sorry if I forgot that in a game, somebody, now that I'm thinking about it. And here is Extract Confession, which was a sacrifice spell. So I had a lot of good removal in black. Soul Innervation, which is a flash enchantment that gets -4/-4 until end of turn, which is pretty good. And what's the other one I have? Slice from the Shadows, which is -X/-X until end of turn. Spell also can't be countered. Let's put out the rest of my creaties here. I got some flyers, Museum Nightwatch guy. We'll talk about him. I had a card to get back cards from my graveyard, Macabre Reconstruction. Here's my rares. Hunted Bone Brute, which is a 6/2 for 3 mana.
Wow.
Menace, and it gives my opponent dogs when it comes into play, which is kind of cute. Tomic, Wielder of Law. Hi, Tomic.
Wow.
2/4 flyer. This is a mythic. Affinity for planeswalkers. Okay. Flying Vigilance. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you or a planeswalker you control, that opponent loses 3 life and you draw a card. That happened once during a game. I was like, they attacked me and I'm like, I have Tomic, right? And they're like, yeah, but what am I going to do? And I'm like, that's right.
Nice.
Give me that card. And the best card in my deck, I had a Vein Ripper.
Wow.
You read that bad boy.
All right, we have Vein Ripper, 3 black, 6/5 flying. Ward, sacrifice a creature. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Pretty sick, huh?
Wow.
Card's too good.
This card seems very good.
Yeah, so that was busted AF. Love that card. But I apologized when I played it every time because I'm like, look, this card's too good. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But here we are. This is the deck. What do you think?
You know what? This looks really nice. Like you said, like you have some good early drops. You have some really nice rares, like like this top end Absolving Lammasu, which is also just like a 4/3 flyer.
Yeah.
Great. Like you said, like these flyers, very nice.
Love a flyer.
You have some great removal. Like this looks really solid to me.
Yeah.
I'd be super happy with this.
I was very happy with this deck. It played out beautifully thanks to the help of some of my lower end creatures, including Unyielding Gatekeeper is one that I had. This is another rare. This is a very cute Elephant Cleric.
Yeah.
3/2 for 1 and a white with Disguise, and then 1 and a white, you can flip it up. When Unyielding Gatekeeper is turned face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return it to the battlefield untapped. Otherwise, its controller creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token.
Whoa, that card is sick.
Card's great.
That card's very good.
What do you need? Do you need to save one of your creatures, like your Vein Ripper? Okay. Do you need to deal with their Vein Ripper?
Wow.
Okay. Fabulous card, well costed. Loved that guy.
Nice. Yeah, that seems great.
I wanted to call out Museum Nightwatch as something that was interesting to me. This is 3 and a white for a 3/2. When it dies, you make a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. which is great. It also has disguise on it for 1 and a white, which I thought was really nice because it's got 1 extra power on the flip up. Yeah. And then when it dies, you basically kind of get it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super annoying.
Really solid card, it looks like.
For your opponent. So
would you be a guard at a night guard at a museum?
Well, here's the thing. Love the idea of in concept.
Okay, love the idea.
Being in a museum seems like a fun time, right? You get to be around art. That's fun.
Being in a museum at night seems sick.
And you get to watch it come to life, right? Yeah. And hang out with it. That's the other plus.
Exactly.
The minus is you're working the night shift, which I have done before.
Yeah.
And it is awful. And it's a carcinogen, turns out.
Wild.
It's just a horrible experience. Yeah. I would never do it again. Number 2, you have to stand. And I'm bad at standing for long periods of time.
All right, fair enough.
So I have to say no. What about you?
Oh, I mean, like you said, the being awake at night thing, it would be pretty rough for me.
It's hard to have a life. That's all.
Exactly. I like to see my friends. I like to hang out. But gosh, I do think I'd like it.
It's going to be peaceful. You
exactly.
know?
It'd be really cool.
Nothing much is going on.
And you would just be like, it would be impossible to creep you after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like you would just
can't be creeped.
You can't be. You would just be like, listen, my friend, I walk around a dark museum by myself at night. You think you can scare me?
Untrue.
No.
A mummy has literally come to life in my presence.
Literally come to life. And tried to order me around building pyramids. And I had to tell him no.
Yeah. You know?
So
nothing could ever get you.
Consider that.
That's a good point.
Would you attempt art theft? Sorry. Okay, we don't have to. Well, this was a weird tangent, but I don't know. It just kind of occurred to me.
I mean,
we're talking about we're talking about a detective.
What are the consequences?
I mean, classic. You might get caught. That's all.
Well, yeah. I guess I have to answer no because I haven't. But
yeah.
If I was in like a crime world, that would probably be at the top of my list of crimes.
Of types of crime that you would be interested in committing?
Yes, because you get to do fancy crime.
It is the fanciest crime of them all. I would say, I think that museum crime is like one of the fanciest crimes.
Yeah. So like you could, feel very fancy doing this crime.
Absolutely.
But I'm too anxious. I would be scared that I would be caught by the lasers at any moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But absolutely. I would like to try and do the laser maze, like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
It'd be pretty cool.
In that movie Laser Butts.
Yeah, we all know that movie.
Have you seen the trailer? It should be called Laser Butts. What the heck movie am I even talking about?
I have legitimately no idea what you're talking about.
Listeners.
What are you talking about?
Really? Hold on. I'm going to Google Catherine Zeta-Jones Laser Butts. And I bet you it's going to come up.
I cannot wait for whatever the answer is.
And it's Sean Connery.
What? Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Catherine Zeta-Jones Laser Butts. Entrapment. It was the first result. I knew what I was talking about.
Never heard of that film in my lifetime.
Really? Yeah, her and Sean Connery go through some lasers, and there it is, the shot from the trailer I was thinking of.
Wow.
But it's just like her butt.
It is just her butt.
It's egregious laser butts action. Yeah. Going under a laser. Yeah.
All right.
Entrapment. Was it any good? I don't recall.
My guess is going to be no.
Probably not, but...
What does Rotten Tomatoes say?
Okay. I need to actually put in the name of the movie.
Okay. You mean that Googling Catherine Zeta-Jones laser butts didn't show up the Rotten Tomatoes page for Entrapment?
That wasn't the first one. All right. Okay. Answered.
Wow.
Tomato meter 40% fresh.
Wow.
Audience score 50%.
So no.
No.
We're going to go
very
with no.
bad.
That movie seems quite bad.
Yeah. But
we should watch it sometime.
Art crime level, probably pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very fun pre-release because Disguise and Morph are great mechanics.
Oh, very.
Period.
Love Morph as a mechanic, and yeah, I love Disguise as a mechanic.
You get to play cards on curve even if you're missing land drops for a while or whatever, so it helps you out with that. We love a good surprise. What's going to happen when it is undisguised, which is very flavorful as well for a murder set. There's cool stuff that happens when cards are flipped up. For instance, I talked about the Unyielding Gatekeeper, Museum Night Watch, surprise, I'm not dead after all. I'm going to leave behind a 2/2 detective. Whatever. Like, it was just very cool stuff that happened.
Absolutely.
Still in love with the morph mechanic. They've made it better with Ward, too, on these cards. And yeah, there was lots of interesting things to do. Collecting evidence was very fun. I had a card that cared about that, which was Polygraph Orb. 4 and a black for an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest into the graveyard. You lose 2 life. Play that anyway. Yeah. Probably. It's a little expensive, but whatever. And then it has the activated ability 2 and tap, collect evidence 3. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card or sacrifice a creature.
Nice. Seems great.
I loved that card.
Yeah.
And that collecting evidence was not a problem for me. All my years of detective mystery novel reading have paid off.
Also, you just have to respect a set that has a card called Crovod Haunch.
Yeah, it's just a ham.
It's a ham.
This is what Ham Cat was eating.
Ham Cat.
This is a Ham Cat snack.
Ham Cat.
That's just a good equipment.
Yeah. Great.
Do you want your creature to have a giant ham that it's wielding?
Yes.
Great. You can sack it to gain life.
Everyone should be able to smack someone with a ham.
You can get dogs from it, which is also very funny.
Yes. Excellent.
The clue weapons in this set are also hilarious.
Yeah.
Because there's wrench, and me and my opponent would just laugh whenever like they attach their wrench to something, and they're like, "It's holding the wrench now." Like there's a defender wall that just had a wrench.
That wall over there is holding a wrench.
That just delighted me to no end that wall had a wrench.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. So this is a straightforward Orzhov build. Like I said, performed very well. Fun cards, did fun things. Powerful cards, I would say, as well.
Yeah.
It continues the trend of more text being on cards of Magic.
Yes. Yeah. Tell me about the deck that you lost to. I need to hear this story.
So my opponent in the last round, playing for the crown, I was like, oh, I've got a sweet Orzhov deck. This thing's low to the ground, great removal. I was feeling on top of the world.
Yeah.
I sit down next to this opponent. They mean business. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I have to look up the card. Hold on, because I need to tell you what the mana cost was. Because I don't want to get that wrong. This one. Yep. Okay, it is in fact. All right. So we're going along. I'm feeling pretty good. Turn 5. And I'm like, I've developed my board. I've killed something they've played. Whatever. And what do they drop? None other than Niv Mizzet Guild Pact.
Woof.
Which, let me read you this card, everybody. This is white, blue, black, red, green. That's right.
Great.
Full Wooburg on turn 5.
Good job, them.
I mean, A+.
Nice work, team.
This is a 6/6 flying hexproof for multicolored dragon avatar. Whenever Niv Mizzet Guild Pack deals combat damage to a player, and let me tell you, it will. It deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards, and you gain X life, where X is the number of different color pairs among permanents you control that are exactly 2 colors. So, which is a lot of cards in this set, obviously.
Wow.
Even though it's not a guild set, we have a lot of guild stuff running around.
Yeah.
They had built the most incredible 5-color deck that I've ever witnessed at a pre-release. Just played all of their busted guild cards.
Yeah.
Was able to do so because of the disguise mechanic.
Yeah.
We can just bide some time playing these 2/2s until you can turn them face up. They had a couple of the rare lands, the Scry lands, which, by the way, get real. Those lands are really good, obviously. And Niv Mizzet on turn 5. I like shouted in the room. I'm like, Niv Mizzet on turn 5! Just because I felt everybody had to know.
Everyone should know.
Nobody turned around.
Although some of that player's opponents might have been like, we know.
Yeah, we've been
there.
We got nived. Anyway, game continues. This is game 3 now. They play it again, and I'm like, this time I'm ready for you, Niv. I'm going to cast my, what is it called? Slice from the Shadows.
Yeah.
To kill this thing. Oh, no, I think I did it actually with the elephant.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm ready for you. Boom, elephant, exile that thing, give yourself a dumb detective. And I was like, feeling great.
Yeah.
The following turn, dear reader, they played a second one.
What?
Yep.
That pool is unreal.
It was disgusting.
That's very funny.
And they were just like, yeah, I had to. And I'm like, of course you had to.
Of course
you had no
to.
other rares.
Yeah.
They were all Niv Mizzet.
I was gonna, 2 Niv Mizzet and 4 lands. Okay.
I mean, truly a beautiful deck. The player was also very good. Obviously, to build that kind of deck, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was just sitting there, green
That's
eyes
great.
of jealousy, watching that deck
Yeah.
play out. Felt like a real dum-dum playing my Orzhov deck across from that. Like, so I will say, 5 color, you can do it. I witnessed it in sealed, and if it can be done in sealed, it can be done in draft.
Yeah. Here's a question that I have for you.
Yeah.
How often did you disguise?
Sure, great question. Yeah, I disguised every single game.
All right. So you're into disguise, not too slow.
Yeah, no, because for instance, here's a good example. This card here is Sanguine Savior, which is 1 white black for a 2/1 flying lifelink. Disguise for Orzhov. When it's turned face up, another target creature you control gains lifelink until end of turn.
Great.
So sometimes you had interesting decisions. Like, do I just want to play this on turn 3 as a 2/1 flyer with lifelink to start
It's pretty nice.
getting in?
Yeah.
Or do I want to save it and pay 1 extra mana, essentially, to turn it face up and give something else lifelink and do it that way? So it didn't feel like too expensive to me because it's on cheaper cards like this.
Yeah.
That I could just decide to play out as a 2/1 and get down to business earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Another question.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the format in general? That's all.
Great question. Yeah, I had a great time. Like I said, Disguise was an interesting, all of my games were interesting.
Yeah.
Even the Mizzet guy, like I felt like I wasn't a complete dog in the fight.
Yeah.
Like I really, honestly, I was. But I mean, I didn't feel like one.
Yeah.
Like I got them down to 3 life and I made a misplay with my Vein Ripper. So I could have defeated them. I think I'm not 100% my memory, but whatever.
Yeah.
Not overall, but in one game. And I played the other 2 games I played. Interesting stuff happened. People were bringing cool decks to the table. And maybe I say this every pre-release, but I just felt like there was a lot of stuff to keep track of and a lot of stuff to do on the battlefield because of Disguise, because you're suspecting various other creatures or whatever. I really enjoy having a lot of different things happening within the game itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's not just creatures in hand, playing sorceries, instants, whatever.
Did you feel like you noticed a difference with play boosters versus draft boosters?
Ooh, well, I'm playing how many rares in this deck? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So
I guess maybe the real question would be, what about uncommons? Like, does this deck feel like it has more uncommons? Because I do think that there's more uncommons as a result, right?
I've got this.
We have 1,
My ham is an
3,
uncommon.
4, 5,
6. This guy.
Yeah. All right.
6.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to go back and look and see what it looks like in other decks. But
Yeah, I think draft is going to be the real question.
that's true.
Obviously. And we're going to crack open one of these bad boys so you can see what it's like, everybody.
Yeah.
But I had a fabulous time playing this set, and I cannot wait for it to drop on Arena. So
Yeah.
go out there and try it out, everyone. I want to hear about your experience too. Post in our Discord if you're a patron and let us know how you liked the pre-release or how you like drafting on Arena or at your LGS. We love deck picks in our Discord. So
Let's see them.
everybody, it's time for Flavor Text Theater movie pitches.
Our favorite one. We have yet to be contacted by any studios, but maybe they just don't have the correct contact information.
Yeah, maybe it's getting caught in our spam folders.
Exactly. So make sure that we'll check our spam folder next time.
Yeah, it's probably in there.
A little Thopter token.
Yeah, Thopters are
Cute.
around. Ravnica.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to we cracked open this play booster.
Yeah.
And we're going to
First play booster.
pitch you some movies based on the titles of these cards.
Ooh, okay. I've got a movie for you right
All
here.
right, let's go.
All right, so this is going to be a TV series, actually, because I think
Ooh,
that's
okay.
going to be better. This is a person whose job it is in the police department to, after cases have been solved and closed, like from like cold cases. So this would not cold case because that means not solved, but whatever. From like years ago, their job is to go through the archives. Don't ask me why you would ever hire someone to do this, but that's the conceit. We'll figure it out later. Maybe this is a British thing. Seems British. Their job is to go through the old cases and make sure they were closed correctly.
Oh.
Because it was back in the day, and maybe DNA evidence would exonerate people or whatever nowadays, or there's something somebody missed.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's their job. And so
This actually sounds important.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, this seems like a good show.
Yeah.
So they come across tons of cases. They don't like their job. They're alone in the basement. Nobody talks to them.
Yeah.
They're like that person who's doing the worthless, thankless job that nobody cares about. And like also their fellow officers or detectives are getting mad at them because they don't want them to go through their work and check it and find mistakes. So nobody likes them. And they find a case that it was done incorrectly, you know? And what happens is they dive into it and they find out way more under the surface than they ever thought had ever been there before. They get sucked into a seedy underworld of other crimes and whatever attached to this crime because it hadn't been solved correctly. Other crimes have offshooted from it, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Green light.
Green light for Aftermath Analyst.
Green light. Let's do it.
I think this sounds
straight.
I
have a series order for this.
I'm like, this doesn't sound like a good idea. Now I'm just like, I think that's a good idea.
Also, it's like strong X-Files vibes.
Oh yeah, X-Files vibes.
It's like the one person, but then they have to have their Scully, right?
Yeah. We'll get a Scully in there for sure.
Yeah. Okay. This is like in the classic vein of like Rookie of the Year, if you remember like those types of movies where the Rookie of the Year is like the kid injures his arm and then he becomes a major league pitcher because he can throw a really good fastball.
I got to tell you.
Anyways,
the sound of that arm haunts me to this day.
It's terrible. Like just the image of that kid falling and having to be in that cast for forever. Terrible.
Oh.
Anyways, but in that vein, this kid one day like finds this hat. And they realize if they put on like they just like jokingly wear it around, but then they realize if anyone asks them a question, they automatically know the answer.
Wow!
And it happens when they're wearing the hat.
It's like wearing the hat.
It's a special hat that somehow when they're wearing it, they know the answer. And obviously because of movie magic in Kidland, they get like really high up in like the FBI, right? Like they just like someone scouts them and they're like, this kid knows all the answers, right? But then obviously there's like a criminal of some kind who like gets wise to it. And they steal the hat.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't know, like the kid doesn't know the answers anymore.
Oh no.
Also, it was all these boys. This one's a girl.
Okay,
and
great.
she doesn't know the answers anymore. And so she has to use her actual smarts to hunt the hat back down. And obviously at the end of the day, it's like, this is too much for anyone to have.
Power.
Like, put it away, like, hide it for forever in thinking cap.
That's great. Green light. Disney Channel original.
Come for this.
Right there.
This is for you.
That's so good. Okay. This movie is another kid's movie, shockingly. This is done in the style of who is that nanny, helper, teacher who
Mrs. Doubtfire?
This was a series of books.
Amelia Bedelia.
That did get made into a movie. I remember it. Where like a kid wouldn't take a bath and she's like, well, okay, then we're going to plant a garden on
Mary Poppins?
No. Started with an F, did it?
I have named every famous film nanny.
I'm not making it up. It is true. And she like, oh, you don't want to take a bath? That's fine. Instead, you're going to just cultivate a garden that's going to grow on you. And we're going to put like dirt on you and grow radishes out of your skin and whatever.
Never mind. This is a nightmare.
Yeah, that one is sticking in my head because it was so gross.
Horrific.
And eventually, of course, the kid is like, I can't take this anymore. I'm going to take a bath or whatever, Yeah. So it's like hard lessons taught in a torturing way. Gosh, it's gonna bug me.
Okay, I'm gonna look up. I'm looking up
what that could
famous fictional nannies.
I don't know if she was a nanny or she something. Anyway, this movie is like that. In that there's kids and they want something. Like for example, I want to be a famous YouTuber, which I think is every kid's dream currently. And like, let us be an example to you. Do not do it. Just kidding. But they have a dream or something they want to do. Like, oh, I want to grow up in, I don't know. That's one example. I want to be a Minecraft YouTuber or whatever. And what happens is they go to this woman and she gives them a cup of juice and they drink the juice and their dream comes true. But then they find out all of the bad things associated with that and they realize, oh, actually my life was just fine. I don't have to be a famous YouTube Minecrafter. And they learn lessons about being an adult. What did you find?
Okay, here we go. Fictional nannies. Mary Poppins.
No.
This is my favorite thing. Instead of saying Mrs. Doubtfire, they call her Madam Doubtfire.
Wow. Fancy.
Nanny McPhee. No.
No.
Jane Eyre.
No.
Maria von Trapp.
No.
Fran Fine.
No.
Nanny Hutchinson.
No.
Aibileen Clark.
Gosh, what am I going to Google?
Clara Oswald. Who is this?
Nanny who grows radishes.
Oh, that's Doctor Who.
On kid. Mrs. Pigglewiggle.
Oh.
There it is.
Okay. She's not showing up. She's not a very famous nanny.
What was she, though? Was she not a nanny? Or was she just a guy?
She is. Okay, look. I'm going to look up International Women's Day honoring the 10 best TV and film nannies of all time. I don't think they understand International Women's Day. Okay, this is...
She was just a lady in a neighborhood, I guess.
Maria von Trapp.
And the kids would come over and their parents would like, take my child. They're misbehaving. Anyway, the name of my movie is called Pick Your Poison. So it's similar to Mrs. Pigglewiggle.
Oh, Mary Poppins.
But maybe more dark. I don't know. Even darker.
Nanny McPhee is an immortal witch and nanny.
Hashtag goals.
Obviously, Mrs. Doubtfire. Oh, Christine Parker from Adventures in Babysitting. She's very famous, but not good at her job. Okay, do you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. Mrs. Pigglewiggle is just not making the cut.
Ah, wow. Miss Pigglewiggle. Well, we've learned that her methods could have been controversial.
Yes. That one was kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this this movie is about the debate, like the high school debate circuit.
Do you know about that, by the way, the high school debate circuit?
I can only imagine that it is a fraught place.
It is more messed up than you can possibly imagine.
I can imagine it being pretty messed up, to be fair.
Well, let me tell you. How about this? I didn't know
Okay.
this because I was in speech and I was not on the debate side of things, which speech already, I'm like, oh, okay. But debate that you're graded on how many points you make during your argument, right?
Yeah.
But what that means is people game the system. So they don't just sit up here and be like, well, I'm arguing the case of X and here's one point and here's another point. Instead, they try to talk as fast as humanly possible.
Yes,
to get
I
all
have
those
heard
points
that.
in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
It's literally about like how fast they go.
It's just, that's messed up. That shouldn't be
messed
what
up.
it is. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
There's
Anyway.
also been like plenty of stuff that's like shown that, right, like kids from like a like non-traditional, I don't even want to say non-traditional, but kids from like not just like rich or middle class white backgrounds trying to like using like not even personal anecdotes, but like their perspective.
Sure.
And different like judges kind of being like, well, no, you shouldn't be using that. Like you should
I
only
see.
be using facts. And you're like, you're basically saying that people with different backgrounds, like it's not viable to like have a different background and use your lived experience to talk about something, which is just like favors people who come from like the most mainstream background. Anyways, how did we get on this?
I mean, it's just, it's shocking to me. Somebody fix this. Like, that is not what a debate is.
Hey, if you are a listener of this podcast and you have the power to fix the state of debate, high school debate in the United States, please do so.
Do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so yeah, this is like this is an even more messed up than usual because there's this one team, right, from like, we'll say they're from like a classic, like very prestigious and secretive prep school somewhere. It's like a boarding prep school.
Nice.
And they are just like, they're doing so well. And they have a legacy of always doing well. But like this team is especially to the point where sometimes the spooky thing will happen in debates and like their other team will start arguing their side for them. Because they've been so good at arguing.
Okay.
And then it turns out that obviously they are involved in some spooky occult stuff.
Yes.
Which is just, know, it's like classic dark academia YA.
Yeah.
Please, once again, come buy this from me, Disney. Persuasive interrogators.
That's very cool. Love an occult debate team.
Yeah, we love an occult debate team.
This next one is a college guy movie, a la Road Trip, I don't know, Euro Trip. Just a terrible movies in that vein.
The Hangover.
The Hangover. Thank you. That's what I'm thinking of. So what happened? I apologize for what I'm about to say. What happens in this movie is there's a stoner guy in college flunking out of his school, just doesn't do anything but eat Cheetos and lay around, play who knows what all day. And
doing it right, man.
One day he takes a very big dump. He takes a big poop. It's important.
It's January.
It's January. It's time for his one poop of the year. Takes a huge poop, and this poop, he's like, oh my God, like that was what just happened. And he walks out of the bathroom. He can't flush it. This is important. Because he's like, where's the plunger? And he comes out, and instead of his like horrible, dingy, whatever life that he had just walked out of, all his like dreams have come true as he exits the bathroom. So
I cannot wait for the title of this film.
Yeah, like his parents call and they're like, hey, great job on your grades this semester, buddy. We didn't think you'd get all A's. His super attractive girlfriend walks by and he's like, whoa, what? He like has a job offer coming in the mail, whatever. And he continues to ride high on the hog, but he's like, I cannot flush that turd because that's what made all this happen in this magical poop movie called Deduce. Spelled a little differently than on the magic card, but you all get it.
Wow. How are we ever like, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I supposed to do after that? I don't.
Watch Deduce.
Oh my goodness.
A terrible piece of trash.
All right.
What do you got?
This is in the vein of like Ratatouille, except it's about like it's not programming. It's more like hardwiring of computer systems. And this guy is like just struggling. He's like just not very good at it, even though it's like his family legacy. But luckily he makes a little mouse friend who will go inside
the computer.
And he does it for like supercomputers because they're so big. So he has a little, and they're like, how is he so good at this? But the answer is he has a little mouse who's really good at climbing through all the wires and like plugging in everything where it's supposed to be in inside source.
I love that.
The mouse is truly inside the computer.
Did you know my favorite episode of Ghost Rider is Max Mouse? It's a two-parter featuring, oh gosh, what's her name?
The mouse who plays Ratatouille.
Yeah, featuring the mouse who plays Ratatouille. No, oh gosh, it's killing me. Anyway, famous person with a fake nose ring as a child actor. And it's great about hacking, and the hacker's name is Max Mouse. This movie is set in a graveyard, where like a murder happens in the graveyard, and somebody is buried inside a grave so that they don't know, nobody can find the body. Because where's the last place you look for a body? A graveyard, right?
Yeah.
Hidden in plain sight, if you will. But there is a mausoleum next to where this murder happens, and it's a very rich family's mausoleum, and there's like the statues outside, like gargoyles, but there's also like a woman's statue, and she witnesses this murder, this statue lady.
The statue witnesses the murder.
And she come to life. She, out of her granite, she comes to life and has to right the wrongs done that she witnessed in her graveyard, and then go back. She like falls in love, but then is like, sorry, I can't. I'm made of stone.
Oh no.
She has to go back to her spot.
Yeah.
And in granite witness.
Does her love come and kiss her statue?
He maybe he turns into granite too next to her.
That'd be nice. Okay, this is my last pitch.
Okay.
This is how they make teen Shakespeares?
Yes.
This is a Regency Shakespeare.
Oh, I've already put the money in the bank. It's on the way.
Shonda Rhimes, call me. Okay, this is about like there's like a classic like quiet like upper crust like English like social circle out in the country in Regency England, and they're like things are kind of like shaken up when a very handsome like man comes to town, like a classic Ray who's just kind of like making his way through society and kind of just like ingratiating himself with all of the ladies.
Great.
But it turns out that there's like kind of a scandal because no one knows who his parents are. And it turns out that he like
is his own parents.
That he was like as a child, like his stepmother like had sent him away and like told his father that he died in order to like cut him out of the inheritance.
Wow.
right? In order to cut him out and have like her kids,
I
right?
love
like
that.
a little bit Cinderella, but rather than like making her like work in the household, she's just like, oh, your kid died, and then like sends her away, and she's come back to try and like revenge himself against the stepmother. Except obviously the whole time it's a girl in disguise as a guy.
Oh, wow.
Right? And
that's
she's come back
great.
to revenge herself on the stepmother and like re-earn her father's favor after him thinking that she's been dead this whole time. And also, obviously, tons of ladies fall in love.
Yes. Thumbs up.
Exactly. In Rakish Scoundrel.
That's great.
Seriously, Shonda, call me.
We've had some great
It'd be
movies
so hot.
today. Like, I gotta say, Deduce, just kidding.
I will say, these are some of our best pitches in a while.
We've had some good pitches here, everybody.
But good card names in this set.
That's what I was gonna say. Good card names equal good movies.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Does the title make the movie?
Oh. Interesting.
Anyways.
Well, friends and family, thank you so much for tuning in for this episode of Murders at Karlov Manor.
Yeah.
I also had flipped up the card Sharp-Eyed Rookie, but I didn't say it because you had already rookied. Oh, there's Magnifying Glass.
Oh.
And Not on My Watch, also that would have been a good one.
Ooh, yeah.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. Very fun set, it looks like.
Yes.
Can't wait to get my hands on more of these cards.
Thank you once again to new patron Joshua.
Thank you, Josh.
Really excellent. All of our patrons are really excellent.
That's
Thank
so
you
true.
so much.
You can become a patron before our next episode and stop the January dumps by going to patreon.com/GLHF Magic. More dump talk this episode than usual.
Wow. Way more.
Jeez. Well, that's why we all have to put it in one episode so that it doesn't,
Yeah. You want it all in one episode so that it's not across them all.
All right. Thank you to Card Kingdom as well. You can check them out at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. And now we're going to continue on with the episode for our producers.
Yes.
We've got some excellent topics lined up for you for the next few producer episodes, and especially this next one. So if you're not a producer yet, you can become one and get in on these extended length episodes, which I think is very fun. But until next time, everybody, have fun on Ravnica.
Yeah.
I can't
Don't
get
get
enough
murdered.
of it. Watch your back.
Watch your back out there.